Hello everybody! In today's video I'm going to be talking about sports. Again, I know, I've been doing it a lot lately, but here we are. But anyway, I come here to talk about a sport, a little known sport called soccer. Dear soccer, just because you're the most famous sport right now doesn't mean you'll be the most famous sport forever. Okay? Like, I am not an anti-soccer fan, alright? I know who Ronaldo is, sort of, and I've seen Messi before. I've seen those guys on the uh, international soccer games, where they fight against other countries or whatever. Well, anyway, soccer, what this video is about, soccer is not the most universal sport. It is not a horrible sport, don't get me wrong. Like I said, I'm not anti-soccer, nor am I super pro soccer. I'm not an only soccer guy, obviously, because I do talk about other sports such as cricket, tag, bowling, just basketball, baseball, cricket, running, just whatever, and then I guess chess, but there's that. Well, anyway, yeah, just pretty much anything game related. The most part, recently, I've been talking a lot about gaming stuff and whatever, because it's easier to talk about than, say, politics or religion, but this is not what this video about. It's about, sports. And, in today's video, I'm telling you that it can't just stick forever, Like, at some point, people are just going to find either a new sport to be proud of, or they're going to find an already existing sport and just replace soccer with that, which will probably be tag. I don't know, because people might go, well, how can that happen? Soccer's like the most popular sport in the world. How could soccer ever be replaced? It's the most popular sport. Dude, I understand that like, when it comes to the world, there's obviously gonna be like that one sport that's the most popular that everybody likes to play. I understand that, but what you also gotta understand is it might not always be that one sport that you've been listening to for your entire life, or it might be in your entire life, I don't know, but it's not going to stick forever, like, at some point there's going to be another sport that dominates, and then another sport is going to take over that. It's just right now, the current thing is soccer. I mean, it's one of those big sports where it's going to take a long time. It took a long time for it to be popular, period, because just remember, even soccer wasn't the most popular sport in the world, because way back when, there wasn't even much of a popular sport, because most people didn't even know there was one. Like, there was, like, a big world sport, until eventually soccer became, well, soccer, and then it got popular ever since. Now, some people like to call it football, but when I think of football, I think of NFL. And you could technically say it's football because you kick with the foot. They're like, oh yeah, they mostly kick with the foot. And explain the goalie, okay? If it's a sport where they only kick by the foot, explain to me the goalie. Explain to me when they're touching the ball with their hands magically. Oh, is that illegal moves now because they're the goalie and they have to touch the balls and they're the only players that can do that? Is that all of a sudden not soccer anymore? It's like, it's kind of a stupid logic. And some people are like, oh, well, you can play soccer anywhere. Yeah, you can play tag anywhere too. And there's probably going to be maybe even a sport that's better than soccer in the sense that it's really popular. But obviously, soccer is not the most universally played sport. It will probably be something like, I don't know, table tennis, maybe? I don't know. But still, it's just like, yeah, it has a lot of opportunities. It is great, but like, you can only go so far with one sport. At some point, people are just gonna be like, I'm bored of this game. Gotta make something new. Maybe it's gonna be a similar version or just a slightly different sport. Or who knows? Maybe soccer will just stay in the supreme. But I kind of doubt that because, like I said, it, it could stay around for probably a few more, depending on how things go, a few more decades or a few more centuries. But I just don't see it, lasting forever because some point somebody's probably gonna either take an already existing sport at that time or invent a new sport, and then that new sport, or I guess technically new sport, is just going to be the new thing. Like every time something big cultural like that happens, there's gonna be that one sport that dominates it all. And right now, it's still soccer because we live in a time where the big things haven't really changed yet, so nobody's willing to change it. But once it does, you'll know. You'll freaking know. But anyway, yeah, like I said, I'm not anti-soccer or something like that. I just I just feel like, how is it, like, I know there's going to be the most popular sport in the world or most popular sport in the universe or something, but why it being soccer specifically? Like, out of all the sports that could exist, soccer so happens to be the most popular one. That's weird. It's a little bit weird because you have to kick a ball with the foot in order to play. You have to find a ball in order to play, some sort of ball shaped object in order to play. Well, what if you don't have one? You just have you. Like, you have you and the clothing on you. That's it. And all your buddies just you and their clothing on the clothing on them. The only thing I can think of, at least in my head, is tag. Like, that's legitimately the only sport I can directly think of. Because there's no other sport that I can actually think that where, like, you don't need a ball, you just need you. Like, as long as you exist, you're like there should be a game where as long as you exist you can play it. Like, that's how it should be. But for some reason it's not. But if there's the most popular sport, there should at least be competition of, this is the second most popular sport in the world, and these two compete over who's more popular. Like, there's like little to no competition with soccer right now. Like, I would be kind of happy because then it'd be a sport within a sports, because there could actually be competition. It'd be like the sports are the teams, and they're in the sport of who's the greatest sport. I don't know. Well, anyway, that's just my opinion on it. So yeah, I think tag would probably become, at least from a certain way, or some other sport if it gets through, would become the most popular. But who knows? Who knows? Maybe I'm all wrong and soccer will really just remain into the world forever. I don't know. Anyway, enough ranting for today. See you later. Bye.